Hare Krishna. We continue reading from teachings of Queen Kunti. We are on prayer 9, which is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 26. We've been reading the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, where the prayer is, "My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feeling." So we have been hearing the purport by Srila Prabhupada, and he's saying materially everyone wants good body, beautiful bodily features, being born in a very nice family, good, respectable family, have very good knowledge, good education. And what is the fourth one? That wealth, having a lot of wealth. But we have been, and then so the harm is not in having these things. The harm is getting intoxicated by these things. Harm is thinking, becoming proud that, oh, I have these things, so I am God myself. I do not need to pray to God. And the harm is becoming comfortable, thinking, oh, I have these things, so I'm comfortable. I've made it. Not realizing, hey, all these things, you have it is in this life. What about when you have to give up this body? You're not the body after all, you're the soul. So why are you getting attached to these things? That is what is the point. The point is we get attached to these things when we have born in good family, or we've got born in, we have wealth or beauty, or we think we have wealth, then we get attached and we forget, oh, but it's all to the body. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. I have to give these up when I give up the body. And so if our whole endeavor is going to go thinking about these things during our life, then how did we fulfill the mission of this human life? How did we use this human body for what it is actually meant for, and which is self-realization? So then the devotees of Krishna have their own form of community. So yesterday we were hearing how the communists, how they take people away from God consciousness, that they say, you go to the church, you ask God to give you bread, and then they are waiting outside the church. Oh, did you get your bread? Did God give you bread? No, I didn't get my bread. Oh, come, I will give you, I have the bread. Come, take as much bread as you want. And they're giving the bread to the people who need it. And then they say, so who's the one who can provide you bread? Not God, but we can provide you. But nobody thinks, oh, the bread, where did the ingredients come from? Where did the flour come from? Where did the grains come from? It's given to us by God. We can't produce a single seed. A single grain cannot be produced. We can't produce it. It's coming from the Supreme Lord. So we take away God from our daily life and start thinking that, oh, I am the cause of this bread, then that is being a thief, because we are taking God's property without giving credit to him. So continuing to read from the purport, the devotees of Krishna therefore have their own form of communism. According to Krishna conscious communism, everything belongs to God. Just as the Russian and Chinese communists think that everything belongs to the state, we think that everything belongs to God. So this is, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna conscious communism. The communists are saying, oh, nothing belongs to the people, it belongs to the state. But what does Krishna consciousness state? That everything belongs to God, not to the state. This is merely an extension of the same philosophy, and to understand it, one simply needs a little intelligence. Why should one think that his state belongs to only a small number of people? In fact, this is all the property of God, and every living entity has a right to use this property, because every living being is a child of God, who is the Supreme Father. So if we think that, oh, this belongs to this country, all these things which are inside the country belongs to the country. But why? Why? Everything belongs to the Lord, who is the one who created it. It's not that the government is creating this land or whatever country you call it. No, it already exists before we came. So who created it? It's the Supreme Lord. We are hearing it in more detail in Srimad Bhagavatam and in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. And then each and every living entity has a right to use this. Why? Because every child has a right to use the father's property. Every child has that right. Not only certain children can use the father's property, every child has that. So every living entity has the right. Even the animals are living entities. The fish, the birds, everyone is a living entity. So in Bhagavad Gita 14.4, Lord Krishna says, Sarva Yonishu Konteya Aham Bija Pradapita. I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. In whatever forms they may live, all living entities are my sons. So when Krishna is saying living entity, he is referring to not the body. He is saying about the soul. That's the reason he's saying that he's saying that I am the seed-giving father, right? I am the seed-giving father of all living entities in whatever form they may live. So the form, what he's talking about, is the different material bodies. Some souls are in the bodies of fish, some are in the bodies of human beings like us, some are in the bodies of birds, some are in bodies of animals. So when he's saying living entity, he means soul. So where is the soul coming from? Krishna is saying, I am the seed-giving father. All souls are coming from me. And no matter right now, they may be in different bodies. Doesn't matter. But they are all my children. They are all living entities are my sons. Aham bija pradapita. Sarva yoneshu konteya. So the soul may be in any kind of a material body right now. Or they may be in the spiritual world. Or they may be in the Brahma Jyoti. Anywhere they are. Wherever the souls are. They are all coming from Krishna. Krishna is saying, I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. They are all my sons. So we, living entities, are all sons of God, but we have forgotten this, and therefore we are fighting. So we have forgotten God. We have forgotten we are all souls belonging to God, but we think there is no God, that I am this body, and therefore there is fight. In a happy family, all the sons know Father is supplying food to us all. We are brothers. So why should we fight? Similarly, if we become God conscious, Krishna conscious, the fighting in the world will come to an end. Currently, there is a war going on right now. Right now, there is a war going on. Why? Because everyone is thinking, some party is thinking, I belong to this country. Somebody is thinking, I belong to this country. But actually, are we the body? No, we are the soul. We are the soul. We all belong to God. So why should we fight? So I am American, I am Indian, I am Russian, I am Chinese. All these nonsensical designations will be finished. Designations are only to the body, and we are not the body. The Krishna consciousness movement is so purifying that as soon as people become Krishna conscious, their political and national fighting will immediately be over, because they will come to their real consciousness and understand that everything belongs to God. We did not create the land, you know. And if the people can understand, I am not belonging to this particular country, I am not, this is just the body that I am in. I am not Indian, I'm not Russian, I'm not Ukrainian, I'm not American. I am a spirit soul. I am a child of God, and so is the other person. Not only that I am a child of God, but everyone is a child of God. Everyone is spirit, soul, child of God. So if we come to this consciousness, there will be real peace and unity. That is the real consciousness. The children in a family all have the right to accept privileges from the father. Similarly, if everyone is part and parcel of God, if everyone is a child of God, then everyone has the right to use the property of the Father. So every living entity, every soul is a part of God, a part and parcel of God. Every living entity. There is no soul, no living entity that is not a part and parcel of God. No one. That right does not belong only to the human beings. Rather, according to Bhagavad Gita, that right belongs to all living entities, regardless of whether they are in the bodies of human beings, animals, birds, trees, beasts, insects, or whatever. That is Krishna consciousness. So here, this is what Prabhupada is saying, belongs to all living entities, means belongs to all soul. Doesn't matter what body they are in right now. The soul may be in the body of a human being. The soul may be in the body of an animal or a tree or a bird or a beast or insect or whatever. But the soul, all the souls are coming from Krishna. And so all the souls have the right to partake in the property of Krishna, because right now we are inside the body. Right now we are in the body. So the higher understanding is, in Krishna consciousness, we do not think my brother is good and I'm good, but all others are bad. This is the kind of narrow, crippled consciousness we reject. Rather, in Krishna consciousness, we look equally toward all living entities, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.18. So it's not that, oh, only me and mine is good. Me and all those people who are doing same things like me are good and everything else is bad. No, Krishna consciousness means coming to the platform, the original consciousness, not looking at everyone as anyone or everyone as the body, but seeing everyone as a living entity. The body is not living, the body is dead. It's the soul inside that is the living entity. So whenever the word living entity is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or any of these books, it refers to the soul. It refers to the soul, because that's the soul that is living, not the body. So Bhagavad Gita 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Sunicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge. So a sage who has gotten true knowledge means he's already realized, he's on the liberated platform. He's on the liberated platform now because he has already gotten the true knowledge. And what happens? He gets humility. When you get true knowledge, then we understand our true position, right? So automatically we get humble. Then what is his vision? How does he see? He sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater outcast. He sees everyone equally, whether it be an animal or a Brahmana, an elephant, cow, or even a person who's eating the dogs. He's seeing everyone with equal vision. Why is that? How is that? Why? Because he's not seeing the bodies. The bodies are just material dresses that we have. He is seeing that everyone, each and everyone is a living entity, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. He's already on the liberated platform. So he's seeing everyone as a soul, not as a body. One who is Pandit, one who is learned, sees all living entities to be on an equal level. Therefore, because a Vaishnava or devotee is learned, is compassionate, lokanam hitakarino, and he can work in such a way as to actually benefit humanity. So a Pandit, a Vaishnava, one who has already understood the knowledge, he's already liberated. What happens? He becomes compassionate. He becomes compassionate because he's seeing that all living entities are there, but because we are thinking we are the body, we are suffering. So then, but how he sees everyone as equal. He's seeing everyone as part and parcel of Krishna, as spirit souls. And then he wants to work in a way which will benefit everyone. He works in a way which benefits everyone. A Vaishnava feels that and actually sees that all living entities are part and parcel of God, and that somehow or other they have fallen into contact with this material world and have assumed different types of bodies according to different karma. So when a Vaishnava is seeing a dog, he's not seeing the person as a dog. He's seeing, oh, this is a living entity. And based on his past karma, he made some choices which has now forced him to take the body of a dog. And he also realized this, that somehow or the other, this living entity has come into this material world. The living entity is not supposed to be in this material world. And because this material world is a dead world, we just said that material nature is dead, dull, inert. There's no life. We are supposed to be in the spiritual world, which is full of life. We, the living entity, are full of life. So the Vaishnava, what is he seeing? That this soul, this part and parcel of God, somehow or the other, he's come in this material world. Somehow or the other, he's taking on different bodies. How can I help him that he can go back home, back to Godhead? So
the first class devotee is also the one who sees Krishna in every this.
This is a first class devotee we are speaking of.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The first class devotee is also like that. Yeah, liberated.
Vaishnava is a very, very,
very
high position.
Okay.
Vaishnava. Each and every.
But then everybody's called Vaishnava.
Huh?
No? Like we call everybody Vaishnava, no?
We are trying, well, depends who we are calling Vaishnava, you know. Vaishnava is a very high position, very high position. Okay. You know, this is, it's not easy to reach to the position of being a Vaishnava, because that's already the liberated platform, right? That is the liberated platform. That is the platform of everyone, of every living entity. But right now we are thinking we are the body. So we are trying to be devotees. We have not yet become a devotee. Our consciousness is still that I'm the body. We are not yet on the consciousness that I'm a part and parcel of God. You know, so a Vaishnava is like a very exalted position, like the acharyas, you know, they are Vaishnavas. The acharyas, they are Vaishnavas. And they are showing us how we can become Vaishnavas. But for us, we are trying to become devotees, trying. We are not there yet. At least I can speak for myself. Maybe some are already. Because he's not seeing the body. He's not seeing the body at all. He's seeing the spirit soul who's inside the body. Have you seen that photo in the picture in the Bhagavad Gita? That there is a sage walking by, and then there are these different living entities as the tiger, the elephant, the man. And then he's not seeing the bodies, but he's seeing the spirit spark, the spirit soul that is inside the body of every living entity, of every body. So, and so Vaishnav, he's feeling compassionate. Oh, this, my dear soul, he should be back in the spiritual world. Somehow or the other, he's come here. Let me help him how he can go back. Yeah. And the best of the Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Yata Shambhu. He's called the best of the Vaishnavas. Why? He's so compassionate. Compassionate, wants to bring everyone to Krishna. So Vaishnava is compassionate. He feels and actually sees that all living entities are part and parcel of God. So he's not seeing the different bodies. He's not seeing someone is a man or a woman. Someone is born in one country or another country. Somebody's born in one family or another family. No, he's beyond all this. He's actually situated on the platform. He's a liberated person, right? He's actually situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness. And because he's situated on that platform, he's able to see others as living entities, not as the body.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much. So we'll end here for today. Kunti Maharani ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and joining in.